And when it was flooding down that road and all the water was coming down and washing out the road, they pushed up a berm. And then Channel 57 complained because they had to go over that berm with their machine. And so the highway guys went up and kind of moved some of it around, but they still have a problem. So he said they were going to, Kurt said that Channel 57 would build a bridge. Mark says that years and years ago there was a bridge up there that went over that brook. And then
It's beyond the water plant.
yeah, it's beyond the water plant, but before it gets to their little strip of right of way. But I guess right now there's just two small culverts and they just can't handle the water. The water just goes through them. So they're going to build a bridge, which is fine. He was kind of snotty with me about it. I said, if you can wait till spring, then, the highway guys could probably assist in some way. And he said, well, if a tree falls in the line now, then we'll be building it today. We got to build it now. So I said, okay, go ahead, knock yourself out.
Oh, they got something tied in with AT&T now too or something?
Well, their big issue is because that's where the emergency communications for state troopers and EMS and whatnot, I guess it pings off that tower, and they have to get up there every once in a while. They got to go up. They got to go up and refuel. And he said that they'd never get over the berm they have to go over with that machine with a load of fuel, some diesel. So. Because I'm like, you got this machine with tracks on it, you should be able to go anywhere.
It's a groomer.
But they
go
don't-
up the side of the mountain with it.
They don't want to,
3-foot ditch just stopping it, but.
they don't want to, I don't know, they don't want to lose cleats or something, who knows. Anyway,
All right.
so I said, okay, build a bridge, and if there's something that's the town's responsibility, let us know, otherwise, have at it. Hometown Hero banner. When we took the banners down, there's one that was done by a different company that was really well made, well put together.
Nice.
It was double-sided. It was like 2 layers, not just printed on both sides of one layer. And I've been talking with her. It is the only problem is that the setup fee, the blank for that they would start putting stuff in. There's a cost to that, and they usually start at 25 banners. It's not like 1s and 2s. So I can go into that further with her and see if, because I don't know if we have 25 more people, or if there's people that wants to, change and replace the ones that they have.
But once they see them, though, the difference in the quality of the two, it's like night and day.
Yeah. So I think it'll end up being about the same price, because they have to ship them to us, of course, and that doesn't include the hardware. So it may end up being a little bit more, but
So
I mean,
how's that work? We buy them and then the people that want, they reimburse them? Is that-
well, how it has worked is somebody wants to order one, they fill out the application and they bring their money in here, and Leslie's been basically administering it. She sends the money to Lorman's, that's who does it now, but the quality difference between the ones that we have
Amazing.
and that one, it's
That's
just, they're beautiful. They're very well made, and they're, like I say, there's two that are sewed together. It's not one that's printed on both sides, so. I can get more in the weeds with her, if you think that's a good idea.
I think you should go further with it.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I don't know what everybody else feels.
What's the cost difference for roughly?
Well, I think it's gonna cost about the same, about 200, but it's not gonna include the hardware, I don't think. Unless I can, the more that we order in one time, the cheaper it would be. But I mean, if somebody's replacing ones, their hardware is already there. Because if we tell them what kind of hardware we already have,
Mm-hmm.
they will construct it to fit that hardware.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I'll go into it a little bit deeper with her then. She called again today while I was in here fighting with this thing, so I didn't talk to her, but. All right, I'll keep plugging on that then. Anybody have any other new business?
I have one item.
Okay.
Where are we with Leslie's job posting?
We haven't yet. We're waiting on county to call us back to, because we asked them about posting it on their site, and if they had a job description for it. They don't, because it's an appointment. We make up our own job description. So I asked her, I said, well, what did you have? And she said, there wasn't one. They just kind of, so we're creating a job description, and the county is checking to see if they can put it on their county website, because since it's an appointment. And then it'll be done by the end of this month.
She wants to go when?
April 20th is her birthday, and she wants to go shortly after, at whatever payday ends, because she wants to end on a payday so that it,
Just starts to put a squeeze on us
yeah,
for job shadowing, that's all.
yeah, well, yeah. If we put it, if we can get it out, posted and the word out everywhere by the end of this month, I would expect we have a lot of people, or anybody who's interested, within the first couple of weeks, and then we'll do interviews. I've already had a couple of things suggested to me that I've turned down, so.
Okay.
Not at this time. Okay. Committee reports. We got our supplemental taxes from the county today. You know, we get that big chunk that offsets our county taxes on our tax bills. And then we get additional that they didn't think that they had no idea how much. So we got a check today for $90,676.44. 40,000 of that, remember, we allotted to help pay EMS. And so the rest of it is.
But we didn't think it'd be that high though.
No, well, Mike Zerlo told me in the $50,000 range. That's why I only put 40, because, range I went plus or minus 10,000.
Wow.
So, that's good news.
And the rest of that go general fund then? Is that where that go? Perfect.
Yep. And I don't think I have.
When you're on the subject, might as well just get update on the EMS.
So they're supposed to, as far as I know, the 7th is the next meeting. Is it February 7th?
That's what you said, but hopefully it'll be early.
Yeah, I've told them that.
Meeting at 6.
Well, yeah, we need to. Now, have they contacted you at all? Because I told them that.
And that's the big thing, that I'm not even care about this meeting, I just want this stuff to go,
Right.
start moving forward. So
Yeah, I haven't been able to pin Sean down because I think they've had him over in Vermont working for the past couple of weeks, so. But I need to get with him, so I will make a point of finding out when he's gonna be in town and get with him. I'll get with Alex and Bobby and
Bobby, yeah.
Bobby.
Bobby, Joe.
Because they need to get with you. They need to get with you guys and get that ambulance opened up.
I have to get her contact, I only got Alex's, so maybe if I get hers and try to
Yeah.
talk to her, because she is supposed to be the head person.
Right.
What was that? I thought it was the other way around.
Oh,
okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's my biggest concern right now, is getting that.
Yes,
Well,
absolutely.
it should be.
Should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, when they tell us, they're voting on it on that 6th of whatever month it was,
Mm-hmm.
December, or no, whatever month it was, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I never heard another word.
Yeah. Well, if we don't hear from them, I'll call Storm
And I
and tell her to.
heard through the grapevine that Mary, or whatever, it was, I think she
Yeah.
got a job, so
Mhm.
that might be some issues
Oh yeah.
of what's going on, so, yeah, I mean, I want her to check,
Yeah.
maybe try to reach out to her, I don't know her, so,
Yeah. Okay. I'll reach out to her too, because she's the one that comes and certifies the.
yeah.
Certifies the
Any of
ambulance.
that.
So
And that should have been done a long time ago.
yeah, it should have been a one out, one in kind of thing. So, all right. I'll
And
do
then
that.
copy of certificates, or the liability certificate.
Yeah, and I told him that, I put all that in an email to Sean, told him that we need the certificates to put on the wall.
I
We
saw
need,
Eric the other day at the fire, and I hammered him a little bit, he's like, he didn't, like he didn't know nothing about it, I'm like, seriously? I'm like, well,
Okay.
this is what's going on, and this is what needs to be fixed, like now, it's,
right,
but then the other thing too that we brought up, like, they haven't come up, to learn the area and stuff, I mean, we had that funeral, and had to call them, and they didn't know where the church was. I'm like, seriously?
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, they were supposed to, okay,
So that needs to be pushed too.
Does it
Like
look
you
like,
said,
well, I guess I gotta go to,
does it look like we're gonna get a crew?
no, well, we already know that, like, not this year. It's gonna be, they're stationed at Den Warner, they're
Right.
covering the whole area.
Yes.
But because Sinai backed out, we couldn't afford to have 2 crews. But, so this year we're trying to monitor how it's gonna go and see how it goes. We're gonna try to push getting a crew up there or building a building in the middle of town.
and what,
Somewhere.
and once the ambulance is certified again, then, the EMTs, or the people qualified with the fire department, plus the EMTs that live in town,
Yeah, because.
Be able to
will
respond.
jump in,
Yeah,
they'll
that's our
respond.
biggest issue right now, is that we had,
Yeah.
and what I told them we were gonna run into was back-to-back calls. Den Warner gets called, which they did, Den Warner vehicle accident, and then we got a call, an EMS call. And they were at the hospital, they're on their way back luckily, but still I had one of my EMTs that's on the payroll, and I had other people respond that they could've just jumped in the ambulance and took the call. And they didn't even have to bother coming up, because they could've just went right on through, and that's how it's designed to work.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
Well,
it
We gotta
gets,
get the stuff moving with the ambulance again, because,
Yep.
you know, changing hands and stuff, and we gotta get the oxygen set up. We don't have any, get them delivered again.
Yeah.
Gotta be recertified, all that stuff, the drugs,
Yeah.
all that
and
stuff.
she said the recertification was, it's just a matter of,
Yeah, and it's just,
it's just putting a
it's
sticker
sitting on
back
somebody's
on.
desk and it's just not, and that's what usually happens.
well, it gets, actually gives the community a little sense of calmness when we know we got another staffed ambulance that can roll.
But on a good note, there was an EMS call the other day, and I heard nothing but good things. They were there pretty quick.
Yeah. Here, I hear kind of like the opposite, they're saying, you know, what are we doing? There's no.
Well, I hear a lot of stories, people are saying, oh, I actually had someone message me and ask me if there was the fire department folded, that we didn't have a fire department. I'm like, what? No, that's not the
No.
truth, that's not what happened, and
But I think some
stuff
people,
happened with EMS, and,
you know, are kind of like leery, why did it happen? Why don't we have the service that we've all grown up with, basically, and beyond?
Yeah,
Some
You
I
just
think
can't
are
have,
bitter.
you know, back in the day, anybody could jump in the ambulance and
Yeah,
throw
I mean,
body,
obviously that
throw a
time
person in
around,
it and take off, and now there's so much training and so
Yeah.
much
And
And
everything.
like, but like,
Regulations alone.
Yeah.
back on yours, it all stemmed from the whole Elmbert thing, I mean, and the money thing was the biggest thing, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if we could combine the whole town and pay for the service that just Lime Mountain was getting, I mean, it's kind of no brainer, you know, I mean, it's, but we would've had a really good thing if Cernak would have back up, and that's where we got kicked again.
Yeah. Well, everybody gets is looking out for their own district.
For sure.
Yeah,
For taxpayers.
and I hear rumors that it's not going too good down there in Morrisville, so who knows, we'll see how this year goes, they may end up coming back.
But they don't get people,
If they'll
more
take 'em back, I mean,
people to train. You know, if there's a shortage of staff,
Yeah. Well, Morrisville's just taking on more than they can chew.
for sure.
And they got staff, but they don't have enough staff to keep
No,
taking
no,
on
you
all
need
these.
more. Whatever they got, they should double it.
Yeah, so, but I don't know, everything's, hopefully goes good. That's, I mean, I don't know.
So another year.
We're working on it.
Looking
Thi-
at it.
Yep.
Through this year, yeah, and
Yeah.
we gotta see, I mean, we talked, we sat down and talked, and we were gonna try to, we asked how much more money we were gonna see if we could come up on our end, and it was like, yeah, no. And it's not feasible to put one person up there, because, like I said, today's day and age, if something happens, you get people stopped at the firehouse today, you got one person there, and you get a mental health case that stops there, something, it's bad business,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's just, it's crazy. We tried, we looked at different things, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
gotta just try to get through this year and see how it goes, and with a number of calls, and if maybe something will change.
I mean, if you think about it, well, I mean, we had everything going to where it should have went, and then right at the 11th hour, 11th second of the day, Saranac says, you know, I don't think we're gonna do this anymore.
Well, actually, it was after, it was on the 13th hour,
Yeah.
because we had already passed our budget.
Yeah, we were all,
The
That's
other
true.
way. And it was
Very
the day afterwards, they decided they were gonna pull out, so.
and that would've been a really good program too, but,
Well, we'll make it work.
We'll make it work.
yeah.
Make it work.
Jim, you have anything?
No, those,
Jason, you got anything else?
No, I think I was just,
No, you covered
Any,
any with EMS?
Any word on, any feedback on that grant thing, the playground?
Yeah, so I proposed, well, yeah, so so Sunshine, that's the name of our grant administrator down there. She wrote back on that, after reviewing the documents, blah, 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 blah. The agency now has information on access restriction, blah, blah, blah. Despite understandable concerns about protecting the Class C dam, the project won't qualify for park EPF reimbursement funding without safe and reasonable year-round parking access. And what I had proposed, they didn't consider safe because it was along the road. And so I wrote back and I said, so my first response back to them was a little bit snippy. I wrote back, Sunshine, this is a very disappointing turn of events. I don't understand why the parking area would be considered unsafe. There's a ditch between the parking area and Route 374 and a fence could be erected as well. I will again bring the information to the board and see what the consensus is. If you could see the condition of that area right now, this was on Monday that I did this. Wind chills below zero, the wind is blowing off the lake at around 20 miles an hour and it's basically a whiteout at the park. The idea that people would want to be on the property in the dead of winter other than to be able to park closer to the lake for access for fishing is confusing. In the future, I'll ensure our grant writers more thoroughly investigate strings attached to grant money before getting the town into a no-win situation.
Good.
And so then I wrote to her again. Well, I said, I will offer you a couple more alternatives for parking. So I did. I sent her this, which is basically still going in that driveway that exists already, but squaring it off, pushing back some of the trees and rocks and making, and basically I measured it out on the GIS map. It would be about a quarter of an acre there. Or as the last alternative, moving the gate further down the driveway and then blocking off an area in there
Making a square spot
with
there.
inside, right there, like right near
To the right,
near the gate, between the driveway and the road. There's, so there's a big area there, making part of that parking lot, which that actually would probably be the best thing because there's not a lot of parking and we don't want them parking against the playground area. So that would provide an alternate parking area, and it would probably enable people, or it would encourage people to use that area for picnicking stuff more because their cars would be parked there instead of everybody being clustered in one area.
Yeah.
So I
That'd be
gave
a
her,
good idea.
gave her
Move the
two
gate.
more alternatives, and I said, we will not be allowing, I said, I can tell you right now, we're not gonna allow vehicles into that area during the wintertime when there's ice on the lake. And because she asked me, do you have any documentation on damage that has occurred on the dam? And I said, no, but there's damage on the dam. And I said, a few years ago, we had some significant damage to one piece. And I said, it was okay in September when it got inspected by the DEC, but yet it was there in the spring. So, you can,
Put two and two together.
yeah. So I sent her that. We'll see what she says. We'll get to the point where we'll just say, and we've already paid for it. We're just waiting for reimbursement from them, but,
It's almost like they're trying to get away from the reimbursements almost. It sounds like to me.
it's, and I wish there'd been a little bit more research done when the grant was applied for as to what we would, what kind of blood we would have to leave on the project.
they gotta take into consideration of where it is. I mean, if you could pick that up, put it up in Lime Mountain all day long, 100%, leave it open. But in an area like that, I mean,
Well, I showed them these, I send them these pictures and I showed, this is the dam. The dam runs from that end all the way to this end and.
Well, they're just thinking of a little dam like this.
Yeah.
All they're thinking of.
And they're getting this, and it gets inspected by DEC and the APA every year and they always are slapping us because, there's a chip here and there's rebar here and so anyway, I explain all that in quite a lot of detail. So I'll keep you informed as to what,
Just invite her up when it's 0 out and 29.
Well, see, and she came up and,
Last Saturday,
but
last
then
Sunday.
the day she came, it was like, we were having one of those weirdly, really nice days.
Go figure.
And,
Last
that's why
Sunday.
I pointed out that that's not, you know, you came at a very odd time because, you know, the lake wasn't frozen and, you know, come here this October and probably have 3 feet of snow and,
Yeah.
the lake frozen over, who
Yeah.
knows? So,
Yeah.
anyways. So that's that. Mark's not here. Anybody have, oh, yes, we need to make a motion to accept the, undertaking. Everybody has signed it, she had everyone sign it previously, but we have to put a motion in, so,
It's a yearly thing, right?
I will move to, approve the 2024 undertaking as written.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Did you have anything else? Was that it?
That was it.
Okay.
I can have that back.
Anybody have anything? Anything from the, we do need to go into executive session real quick, so I'll move to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Next meeting is February 28th at 5 o'clock.
Posted everywhere.